The 5 men accused with the murder of soccer star Senzo Meyiwa are back in the Pretoria High Court this morning. The case was postponed last month, you may recall, to allow Advocate Charles Mnisi more time to prepare the defence for accused number 1, and this is Muzi Sibiya. You may recall as well, it follows the death of his previous lawyer, Thulani Mngomezulu, in December of 2024. Now, Mnisi is also representing accused number 3, Mtobisi Ngube, who is due to cross-examine lead investigator Brigadier Bongani Gininda. Gininda is also the final witness for the state in this matter. And the allegation is that Meyiwa's death was a contractual killing ordered by his then-girlfriend, Kelly Khumalo. The soccer star was shot and killed at the home of Khumalo in October of 2014. And Linda, Mnisi has been on the story, was there of course for that postponement, and we're resuming today. Again, it is reaching a couple of important milestones. Of course, the setback now being that Charles Mnisi has to update himself. But the final witness, is being cross-examined, so we're almost there.
Yeah, and we're almost at the tail end of that cross-examination, given that, Charles Mnisi, Advocate Charles Mnisi, is now going to start his cross-examination of Brigadier Bongani Gininda on behalf of accused number 1. The little setback that we saw in the last 2 weeks has been around reading records. Although Advocate Mnisi has been in court, throughout the proceedings, he still needed to familiarize himself more, a little bit deeper with accused number 1's case. Also reading the record, to understand some of the versions that have been put on behalf of accused number 1, so that he himself also gets to put them to Brigadier Bongani Gininda, which will ultimately, at a later stage, if he chooses to open his case, will be elaborated on. But it's important because, we're hearing that there's about 40,000 pages of this record already. So it is quite a lot to go through, and considering the time that he was given, nearly 2 weeks, is really something that I think was considered when the choosing of the legal representation happened after Thulani.
It just made sense, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. And looking at how everything has been managed, Iman, it seems there was an effort to save time, and with this nearly 2 weeks that was given to Advocate Mnisi, it was, of course, also in the interest of accused number 1 to balance, the scale for everybody, so that he's able to comfortably move forward with his case.
And I think that's an important point, Linda, for us to reiterate. In the pursuit of justice and in the interests of justice, the court has to be seen to be making the necessary concessions on behalf of the accused, so that they can mount a credible case, because it could have an impact on how this case goes later on and prospects for a potential appeal.
Absolutely, Iman. The rights to a fair trial, it all boils down to that, the rights to a fair trial. And we've seen quite a number of times that this issue be raised in court, particularly by the defense. But there's also, the emphasis that has been placed by the judge that the right to a fair trial is also afforded to everybody that is involved in this particular matter. The state also deserves to be granted also that right. But of course, in situations that are like this, where nobody could have predicted the passing of a legal representative, considerable concessions have to be made and compromises have to be made, all in the interest of justice. So everybody needs to be on the same page. You would have seen the state also did not oppose this postponement, because they know and understand the implications that it may have on accused number 1's case. So he needs to be granted adequate time, over and above being given an opportunity to pick his own lawyer. Despite, of course, time concerns, he needs to be afforded that right. Even if he had chosen, a lawyer that is not within those counsel, he still would have had the right to do that. But of course, everything had to be considered, and he chose Advocate Mnisi. But also now, time has been given to him to look at those records, and nobody felt that this would prejudice anybody that is involved in the case.
So tail end of cross-ex today. What else are we expecting, Linda?
Tail end, it's the start of, Brigadier Bongani Gininda being interrogated about his version, particularly when you look at the case of accused number 1. He's alleged to have made a confession statement and a pointings out. So those things are going to be central in this cross-examination, how those confession statements were obtained, and including that particular pointings out. There's quite a number of things that have been raised. His version has suffered a number of blows, so it's important for him, given what he's already placed on record as his version, to of course interrogate how the investigations were done by Brigadier Bongani Gininda and his team, and particularly what may help or support his case is if there are any concessions from the Brigadier himself about anything that may have happened during the investigations.
Right, Linda Mnisi, we'll be back with you a little bit later on Channel 405. I think those proceedings usually scheduled for 10 o'clock, not guaranteed it will start at 10 o'clock, but we'll take our viewers live there as soon as the Pretoria Magistrates Court gets underway.